And so just as nature provides more than enough of everything for us, our bodies are also fully capable of providing more than enough of everything for us. And the more conscious you are, the more evolution that is taking place. It's just mind-blowingly devastating how much limitation exists in need, in comfort, in normalcy, in routine, in structure, in safety and security. When in truth, all of those ideas, all of those illusions actually come from the exact opposite, which is an energetic resonance of insecurity, of danger, of fear. And this all begins, we're not born this way, it all begins, well, potentially in the womb. It all begins at conception, right? I am not this body. And you are not your body, whether you identify with your body or not. You are not your mind. I am not my mind, whether you are attached and caught up in it or not. This mind, this body's energetic resonance, this energetic form, has been conditioned since conception, since birth. And this experience is now dictated by that conditioning. You know, there have been people that come here to stay, and they may be here for a day, they may be here for 3 days, they may be here for a week. And some of them, you know, will leave every day so that they can go to Starbucks and, you know, get whatever drink it is they get from Starbucks, or, you know, go to a fast food restaurant and get, you know, some, you know, big 44-ounce, you know, soda or whatever it is. And there's so many layers, of need, of disconnection, of inner discomfort that are manifesting in that reality. It's sort of like the person that's addicted to alcohol or to tobacco, nicotine. That feeling of discomfort, that feeling of unease, that feeling of anxiety, that feeling of stress comes up, and then the mind associates the solution with smoking a cigarette. And as you begin to smoke that cigarette, the stress, the anxiety, the discomfort appears to decrease. And then you feel, oh, whew, you know. But in truth, the need for that cigarette, the discomfort that's manifesting in need for that cigarette is actually manifesting from a deeper sense of discomfort, a deeper sense of need, a deeper sense of disconnection. And so by continually giving your power to the form, by continually giving your power to the form, by continually giving your power to the form, there is no evolution that is taking place. There is no empowered process taking place. It's only a deeper ingraining, more solid crystallizing of that limitation, of that disconnection. Some people come and it's the heat or it's the cold. Some people come and it's the bugs, the mosquitoes. There's always a reason, there's always a form, right, that is associated with that discomfort. But that's just the mind's excuse, that's just the justification for the true inner conflict, the true inner disconnection, the true inner discomfort that already exists. And it's simply manifesting in the form. And rather than taking a breath and looking at that formless, of going within and sitting with the truth, the mind is attaching, is blaming, is justifying the form, not only as the problem, but also as the solution. And the paradox is that any problem that appears to exist is simultaneously a solution waiting to exist. For every problem, there is a solution. And when you're attached to form, you're going to be looking for the form. Okay, what can I do? What can I take? Where can I go? Who can I call? Who can I pay? What can I buy that will solve this problem? And you may or may not find that, no matter how much money you spend. There's people with cancer spending thousands, millions of dollars, and they're still dying of cancer. There's people buying wives from Asia, from India, and still not finding love. And yet simultaneously there's people that spend no money and don't ever get cancer, or are miraculously healed from cancer. There are people that fall in love by chance, without even trying, without even searching, without even looking, without any money at all. Right? And so the real truth is that you're either in alignment with a solution or you're not. And if you are in alignment with a solution will manifest. And yes, it will manifest in form. It will manifest in form, but see, this is the thing, is that when you're in the power and the connection of the formless, there is no effort. There is no striving. There is no trying. The form just manifests. Simultaneously, you're not trying to manipulate form. You're not trying to control form. Form simply manifests itself. Right? When I'm with my child and she appears to be upset, when there appears to be a problem, right? I don't think about, okay, well, what can I do? Or even what is the problem? I simply feel what is. I just tune in, I just feel, okay, here we are. You know, this is what we're experiencing. And the solution just naturally occurs. The solution naturally comes to me. Right? So I can just feel, okay, she wants to, you know, suck on a breast. She wants to drink that milk. And I walk inside, take her to her mother, set her down, no words, no contracts, no agreements, no nothing. Takes 2 steps, mother, you know, pops out her breast, goes right to the breast. Easy, effortless. Right? So the form is that milk, the form is that breast, the form is that body that's creating that milk from the form that is the food, the calories, the nutrients that she's eating, which is the form from the plants and the animals that are growing, which is the form from the soil, from the air, from the water, which is the form from the basic elements, the building blocks of this life, of this existence on earth. The layers, the layers, the layers, the layers. So, number one, the words, right? She doesn't need words, and I don't need words to have a communication. Number 2, the solution. The milk, the breast. There's so many layers beyond that, because even the milk or the breast, which appears to be the solution, even that's not even the solution, because that milk isn't created without the food and the water and the air that's being breathed, that's being eaten, that's being drank on a daily basis, which now isn't possible without the plants and the animals that are providing that sustenance and that food, the air that's providing that air, the rain that's providing that water, right? Which again still isn't even possible without the basic elements. So the layers of form. When you really begin to become aware, to awaken to the infinite depth of existence, you actually realize that the layers are infinite. The layers are infinite. And you realize that to pay attention to form is so limiting. It's so limiting. It is pure limitation. And so the paradox is that we are here to experience the limitation. We are here to play in the form, right? To have this body. I can feel the moistness of the air. I can smell and taste and breathe the freshness of the air. I can feel the temperature of this air. And it doesn't matter what temperature the air is, I can find something to appreciate about that air, whether it's 110 degrees, whether it's 20 degrees. The air is there, and I am thankful. I am in appreciation of that air, and it's an opportunity to wear clothes, to wear more clothes, to wear warm clothes, or to not wear clothes at all. To move more, to eat more, to generate more chi, or to relax and do less. The paradox is that we are here to play in this form, to experience, this body, this environment, these elements, these people, these animals, this world. And yet simultaneously it's all coming from that formless. It's all coming from that formless. So if we were to look at the layers as we just have of form, and we get down to the basic building blocks of the elements, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, right? Well, what's now below that? We can look at atoms and neutrons, electrons. All right, well, what's below that? What's inside of that? What's the layer beyond or within that? Right, and so quantum physics, modern science, is exploring, is researching, is testing what that is, and they're finding data, they're finding answers, right? They're having experiences. And none of it's valid or invalid, unless it is valid or invalid. So when a problem exists, rather than putting your attention on the form of the problem or the form of the solution, simply sit, breathe, put your attention, put your awareness on the experience, on the feeling, on the thoughts, on the beliefs that are at the core, or at least are at what appear to be the core right now, the surface right now. And you'll see there's another layer beyond that, and another layer beyond that, another layer within that, another layer within that. And the truth is that you could sit for eternity and look at the infinite layers. And you can or you cannot do that. Again, that's not even what it's about, because you don't ever get anywhere. There's nowhere to go. It doesn't end, right? If you're trying to find the final solution, the end result, it's just so hilarious. Spirituality and, religion and even science, it's man's feeble attempt to try to define and quantify the infinite spectrum of the universe of God. To try to find the answer, to try to find the solution. The end all, be all. Even that is all relative. It's just a game, it's just a set, it's just a story, a play that you're participating in. And that story and that play can change at any time. So again, the paradox is yes, we're playing a game. Maybe a humorous game, it may be a serious game, maybe an enjoyable game, maybe a painful game. In my mind's eye right now, I can see the infinite spiral, the circles within the circles. Right? And I could look at the layer, and I've spent lifetimes, I've spent light years in exploration and conscious adventure of those layers. And at one point in time it was to find an end, to find the answer. And at one point I realized that it's all relative, that it never ends. An end, just like death, is only a new beginning, is only birth. And again, the paradox, the paradox, the paradox, the paradox, the paradox.